So welcome everybody to another race of the F1 Esports League, and I'm very sorry there have been or are a lot of technical difficulties that we are having to deal with, or that we are dealing with right now. As you may have seen in the description of this video, of this live stream, it's not the Hungarian Grand Prix, but it is the Belgian Grand Prix that is taking place today, and I'm very much sorry for that mistake, but at the moment I can't do anything about it. You are gonna have to look at this Grand Prix as it is, and right now I can see that we are not racing with AI. This is the first race with no AI on. So the first race in which no AI is going to take place, as we want to try out the effect of not racing with AI. So we also have a couple of drivers lined up today, about 9 drivers that are going to race in this Grand Prix. And as you have maybe seen, or as you may have noticed, there has been a big driver lineup change, as Farideus has joined Sebo 55 in the McLaren, and Harry Lambus took the place next to Maverick in the Ferrari. We're currently in a shorter qualifying, so we're not doing the full qualifying of Q1, Q2 and Q3, but we're doing one qualifying session that should be about 18 minutes long. So to answer the questions in the chat, yes, I am German and I'm fine. Whatever, we will be returning to the track, as we are now going to do the lap with Region T, who's starting, who's about to finish his out lap and starting his real first lap. Spa-Francorchamps, one of the oldest Grand Prix tracks or racing tracks that exist. 7.004 kilometers that the drivers have to face each lap, about 4.35 miles, consists of 21 corners. Basically a fantastic track with a lot of speed, a lot of corners and a lot of overtaking possibilities. But the corners are also very difficult, as there often is the possibility of spinning. The most famous corner of the Spa circuit would be... Whoa! What was that by the McLaren driver? That was a very dangerous move, and luckily Region T just went past it with no difficulties, or nothing bad that happened. Also, Region T setting the fastest lap of this session, and Farideus instantly breaking it with being nearly 1/10 faster. Wrath positioning himself on P3. Maverick beating Wrath's time on to P3. And Wrath down on P4. Haralambis on P5. And the rest of the guys are in the pits again, as Sebo, Burkina and Davman and Peanut Turtle are all in the pits. We're now going to jump into the other McLaren, as we can see now that they are doing the outlaps as well, the Renaults. The second McLaren of Sebo 55 and Peanut Turtle in the AlphaTauri. Also his F1 Esports League debut. There's still 10 minutes left on the clock for the drivers to improve their times. There we go. The McLaren. That is weird. I just read in the comments that there are lags, and I am very sorry for that. I hope you can forgive me, because at the moment I can't change anything. I can't change anything, as if I change something, then my game is going to crash and we won't be able to follow the whole race, and that would be even worse than having lags. I'm very sorry, everyone. I will address that after the race. It will be my first or main concern to deal with that issue. Whatever, I hope that you guys can still enjoy this race. And we can focus on this lap of Sebo 55 and watch what he is gonna be able to do. Very good racing from the McLaren so far. They're going into the last corners. And he's going to do a 1:45.6, bringing himself up to P6. Maverick is going to improve his time. Davman is going to improve in time. Jumping on to P4. The Renault driver. Still 8 minutes left on the clock. Then we will now jump onto the other Renault. And when I say jump, that is literally what happened. As the second Renault I believe he thought that were the pits or something. Oh, he was letting by the Alpha Tower if possible. I wasn't quite able to see that. Maybe now we'll get a better view of the situation here. The Renault though both the Renaults doing a great race last time. Regenty clinching the win away from Davman on his F1 Esports League debut. But the second place is still an amazing result. Fantastic performance. And Peanut Total now with his qualifying lap onto P7, about 1 second slower than Wrath in the Alfa Romeo. Faraday's still leading the pack with a 142.5. And now let's take a look at the Alfa Romeo driver. Very good first corner. Going up a Rouge. Now to repeat everything for everyone. Faraday is currently on P1 with a 142.5. We've got Regenty in second place with a 142.6. Haralambis in third. Maverick, the second Ferrari driver. So both Ferraris on 3 and 4. Davman and Burkina, the Renaults, on 5 and 6. Wrath in the Alfa Romeo on 7. Peanut Turtle in the Alpha Tauri on 8. And Sebo 55 in the second McLaren on P9. Wrath is going about a second faster than his best lap. That would mean he would get into third place if he's going to be able to keep that pace. Good movement. Very solid. And that brings him into third place as I expected. About 8/10 faster than his fastest lap. Very well done. Davman and Burkina are both in the box. And we can see Haralambis is coming into the box right now. We have Peanut Turtle in the pits as well. And Seba 55 who's still trying to improve his lap to get into the top 5, top 10. Ooh. Dangerous. What he did right there. Sebo 55 is not going to improve his lap time. He has about 2 minutes left on the clock for him to make a better time. But that doesn't look like it's going to work, is it? Bakina has retired. Faudes is still trying to improve his already fantastic lap time of 1:42.5. Maverick has retired. He's happy with P5. Davman and Sebo in the pits. Peanut Turtle is out on the track. Davman has retired from the session as well on P6. Maverick on P5. Haralamb is currently on P4, but he's on his out lap. Faudes is on P2, but can he improve his lap time? No, he cannot. And Regent T has got himself into the pole position. P1 for Regent T in the Red Bull with 30 seconds remaining. Faudes has retired from this session. Peanut Turtle has retired from the session. We've got Sebo 55 and Reth has retired from the session, so there's only still 3 drivers remaining on this qualifying session. Well, that was dangerous again for Haralambis there. Rath's movement. There's 3 minutes remaining on the clock for the drivers to improve and to get into the top 5. He's going towards the end of his lap. Is he going to improve his time? He is going to improve his lap time. What a fantastic run by Haralambis in the Ferrari. Beautifully managed, beautifully done to bring the Ferrari on the top 3 spots. Currently on 3rd, or starting from 3rd. Now this is the starting lineup. Regent T claiming pole position. Faudes in the McLaren on P2. Haralambis in the Ferrari on P3. Rath in the Alfa Romeo on P4. The second Ferrari in Maverick GH on P5. Davman and Bakina, so they're both Renaults, staying on P6 and 7. Peanut Turtle on P8. the AlphaTauri with a good, solid first session, and Seba 55 finishing the grid on P number 9. We are waiting for the players so that we can start this Belgian Grand Prix. Here we have him. This is obviously just the formation lap to heat up the tires to look at what they are going to be able to do. Regenti claiming pole position, and it's 22 laps that the drivers have to do here in Spa. 22 laps. A normal Grand Prix would obviously take a little bit more. 44 it would be, but we are racing at 50%. So Regenti on pole position, Farideh's on P2, Haralambis on P3, Rath on P4, Maverick on P5, Davman on P6, Bikina on P7, Peanut Turtle on P8, and Seba 55 on P9. Everyone is going into their positions. "21 corners is what this racetrack consists of. Start to this Grand Prix, and it's not a fantastic start. Rath has gone into the walls. Rath has gone into the walls. Sabo has got himself 6 positions. Haralambis claims P3 again. Upper Rouge. Davman on P5. Bikina on P6 gaining 1 place. Maverick dropping down to P7. 2 spots lost. And Peanut Turtle on P8. This is looking like a pretty big fight, is it? Beautiful start. A fantastic way to begin a Grand Prix with. And here's a big fight in midfield between the 2 Renaults and the McLaren. Maybe now Burkina is going to try to go over the inside, but Sebo is keeping him out, is keeping him away. Now again, Sebo is just a little bit more defensive. And Sebo is also not that far behind the Renault of Davman. At the top, we also are having a big fight between the two cars, between the McLaren and the Red Bull. Look at that, guys. Faraday is getting closer and closer into the corner, slipping a little bit around here. And we have had an overtake as Sebo 55 was passed, or has been passed, by Burkina. And I don't know why it says that he's a lap or so slower. We also are having 2 pit stops here as Maverick has passed Wrath. And Wrath is now coming out of the pits just behind him. Sebo, though, is trying to get back to Burkina in the Renault. Maverick retired from the session. What happened there? Oh, he probably went into the walls or something, which is why there is a yellow flag deployed. A virtual safety car. No overtaking. And keeping it in the delta. Keeping the delta positive. We're now going to pass. Well, we're close to the corner of the incident, I believe. We are good to go, and we're racing again. And Sebo obviously can use this little safety car now going off track, but he could have used this to pass on Burkina, and we don't have too big gaps between the cars. I mean, it's all about half a second or a second behind each other. Faraday now with the ERS and DRS turned on, trying to go over the outside. Now just behind the Red Bull. Is he going to go past? On the straight, a little slower. And that is a fight at the top between Faraday's and Regenty. Look at that one. That's definitely a big battle. Now the McLaren could use this chance to pass. He's trying it. He's trying it. Can he do it? Now with a little spin move on the straight. Can he use the speed? No, he doesn't have enough speed. But he's able to get the fastest lap of this race so far. It's too tense, and the Red Bull is in the wall. Regenty has gone into the wall. What has happened there? I don't want to say it, but it really looked like Regenty spun. because if he didn't spin, then it would mean that Faradeus pushed him into the wall. Regent T now on P7, losing 6 positions with that move. Haralambis moving up onto P2, Devman on P3, and we have ourselves a fight again with Peanut Turtle in the AlphaTauri against Sebo55. And it's the fight for P5. Who is going to win that battle? Peanut Turtle is going faster and faster. Also, we have a battle between the two Renaults up ahead. The fight for P3 there. We're now going to look a little bit if the AlphaTauri is going to do that. Half a second behind. We have another virtual safety car. And Burkina is out of this Grand Prix. As well as Peanut Turtle, who completely smashed into Sebo, which gave both of the drivers a penalty. They were trying to brake for Burkina, who went out. And then all of a sudden, this happened. Now that obviously gives Wrath the chance to close in to the top. We're now lap number 5, and we still have a very good fight at the top. Davman currently about 1.8 seconds behind Haralambis and the Ferrari. The Renault driver is pushing very much, and Haralambis has spun out. He went into the gravel, and Devman gets himself P2, 5 seconds away from Faradeus. And with 5 laps into this race, 2 drivers are already out. And what a Grand Prix it has been so far. We've seen so many overtaking moves. And there's a yellow flag for the Ferrari of Haralambis in Sector 2 that is resolved. Regent is pushing to pass Sebo 55. He's not that far away. Now, over the inside, he is going to be able to do the overtake onto P4 for Regent. Very nice move there for the Red Bull driver. Fantastic movement for Regent. Sebo 55 just a second away from him. And Wrath just a second away from Peanut Turtle. All of the drivers are going to finish into the points today, obviously. Very nice move. Haralambis went into the pits. Oh no. And Regent is now in 3rd place. 755 on 4th place. Haralambis on 5th place. Haralambis and Sebo 55 are fighting though for that spot. Haralambis now trying to go over the inside. Took a little bit off the curb there. Now Maybe on the outside. Can he do the move? No. Seba 55 is too far away. Or at least a little bit too far. For him to make the move. There's still the fight for P4 between the two drivers. Haralambis still fighting for P4. Maybe now the move from Haralambis. Now there's a speeding under safety car from the two drivers, which gives both of them a penalty. Regent has gone into the pits. Haralambis has just entered the pits. And now they both have to serve that penalty, and Haralambis is even going to get a new front wing. Seba 55 still out with the penalty. And well, that basically resolved the race. I mean, Peanut Turtle is out of the race, which leaves Haralambis, Wrath, Regent, Cebu, Devman and Firedos. So only 6 drivers out. The closest battle that we have right now is the one in midfield between Seba 55 and Wrath. Well, that now basically resolved. In the meantime, Davman has fought himself into P1. Faraday is on P2. Regent T on P3. Wrath on P4. Sebo 55 on P5. And Haralambus on P6. Faraday is now 5 seconds away from Davman on P1. We're at the half of this Grand Prix, so another 11 laps to go. So after another 2 laps, nothing has changed. We still have the same lineup as before. Faraday's on P2 in the McLaren, Davman on P1, doing a very good race so far. Gaining 5 places, 5 positions from the start of his race. Regent dropping down 2 spots to P3. And Faraday's is in the hunt. He really wants to fight for P1. He wants to get to Davman, and he's doing a very good job. Now it might be possible. Yes, he's going to pass him, because Davman has gone into the pits, and he's now behind Faraday's. Now it's about a 10 to 20 second gap between all of the drivers. We have a lot of space between all of them. Davman, who went in for some new softs, could be able to regain that to regain these places. And at the moment, nothing is happening. Nothing is changing. Lap 17 of 22. And we have a full live chat full of Davman supporters cheering for the hero to win this Grand Prix. There's still 4 laps to go. And Faraday's mediums are not that old, are not that used. Only 8 laps, as we can see. So the next driver who could overtake would be Haralambis, 4 seconds away. 4 seconds away from Seba 55. Davman, the only driver out on track on the soft tyres. And Haralambis spins a little bit in the last corner. That one is very difficult. And now we just have to wait. Davman on the softs is going slower and slower. I very much believe that this is going to be the final lineup. There's not going to be much of a change here, unfortunately. Faraday is on pole with 2 laps to go. Well, actually it's 3 laps to go to finish this race. Let's say 2.5. He's about to finish Sector 2. Going a little slower again. Devon on P2, slowing down about a second or 2 seconds slower than before. Regent T on P3. Wrath on P4, Sebo on P5, and Haralambus on P6. There was a yellow flag for Ferrari for the one of Haralambus, who had some problems going into the pits, I believe. Farados is now about to finish his lap and is now starting the last lap of this race, so his last lap of this Grand Prix. And I believe that is going to be the end of this Grand Prix. Faraday on P1, Davman on P2, Regent T on P3, Wrath on P4, Seba 55 on P5, and Haralambus on P6 for the Ferraris. Faraday's with not much fuel left there. Haralambus had to let Davman pass there. And Faraday has won this Grand Prix. Davman is about to finish his Grand Prix on P2. Here goes Haralambus. Regent T seems to finish his Grand Prix. Rolling into into the race finish. And now the other drivers are finishing their Grand Prix. Wrath on P4, Sabo 55 on P5. Sabo 55 getting driver of the day. Now we are going to look if any drivers are interested in an interview, and as soon as they answer, I will come back to you. Okay, I think no one is coming for the interview. I'm very sorry though, but I hope you still enjoyed this race. Oh wait, there is someone to interview. Harry Lambis in the Ferrari. I hope we can hear him. Just.
Yo, I said I want an interview.
Yes. First of all, well, still congratulations on finishing the race, as many drivers haven't been able to, or haven't been as successful as you have been. What was your impression on your F1 Esports League debut?
That I'm third fast, I guess, just from qualifying. The difference between the first two is a big one, especially on qualifying. The difference was like 1.5 seconds from P3 to P4 to P2. It's really interesting. I think there are some good drivers here. I had some impressions of some drivers, and I know how to approach them in the future races.
Great. What would you say about the fact of racing with no AI? I mean, there have been a lot of people saying that no AI would be better, and well, now we obviously have tried it.
Haven't had experience with AI, so I cannot like have an opinion on that. I do think though with no AI, it doesn't make it a better race. It makes it so easier for some people to get points. Yeah, but I say bringing AI back with a ratio.
Well, so last question: did you enjoy the race? I mean, obviously you have been a little bit unlucky, but
I had
nonetheless.
my mishaps, but I say it was a really enjoyable race. I had my moments. I could get P5, but I spinned. I could get P3, but I spinned. I say I'm gonna be better in next race. I will be stronger. Probably gonna be a better track for me. I don't like Belgium that much. But yeah.
Well, I wish you luck with that. I mean, hopefully you're going to do better. I mean, hopefully you're going to improve. I wish you all the best, and see you next race.
Yep. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So now returning to you, I hope you enjoyed this race. If you want to watch all the other races, you're welcome to follow the F1 Esports League on Instagram or YouTube, or if you want, you can join our Discord and take part of the action and race with us. Whatever, I'm very thankful that you stayed with us, that you watched this Grand Prix with us, and